born in 1766, was a British scholar who profoundly impacted economic thought. His ideas challenged conventional wisdom and sparked debates that continue to this day. Malthus lived during a time of great social and economic change. The Industrial Revolution was transforming England, leading to urbanization and population growth. These changes fascinated Malthus and shaped his most famous work, an essay on the principle of population. Malthus was a well-educated man from a prosperous family. He studied at Cambridge University and became an ordained minister in the Church of England. However, his true passion lay in understanding the forces shaping human society. He became a professor of political economy at the East India Company College. Malthus's ideas were often controversial, but they always stimulated discussion and debate. Malthus's most significant contribution was his analysis of population growth and its relationship to resource scarcity. He argued that population growth would inevitably outstrip food production, leading to widespread poverty and misery. This theory, known as the Malthusian trap, became central to his economic thought. Malthus's ideas were influential in his time and continue to be debated and discussed by economists and policymakers today. If you found this exploration of Thomas Malthus intriguing, make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave a comment below sharing your thoughts on Malthusian theories. We'd love to hear from you. At the heart of Malthus's work was a simple but powerful observation: population growth has the potential to outstrip the growth of resources. He argued that population, when unchecked, increases geometrically, doubling with each generation, while food production increases arithmetically, adding a fixed amount with each generation. This disparity, he believed, would inevitably lead to a point where the population exceeds the carrying capacity of the earth. Malthus argued that this imbalance between population growth and resource availability would have dire consequences. He envisioned a future where widespread famine, disease, and poverty would plague humanity. This bleak outlook earned Malthus the nickname the Dismal Parson. However, Malthus was not simply a prophet of doom. He believed that understanding the principles of population growth was essential for developing sound social policies. To prevent the Malthusian catastrophe, he advocated for measures to control population growth. These included moral restraint, like delaying marriage and limiting family size, and controversially, opposition to poor laws, which he believed encouraged early marriage and larger families among the poor. Malthus's ideas sparked heated debates, with some praising his insights and others criticizing his pessimistic outlook. To understand Malthus's influence on social policy, we must delve into the historical context in which he wrote. It's essential to understand the context of the English Poor Laws, which were a cornerstone of social welfare in England for centuries. These laws, dating back to the Elizabethan era, were designed to provide a safety net for the poor and indigent, ensuring that no one would be left to starve or freeze. They provided a rudimentary form of social security, offering a lifeline to those in desperate need. The Poor Laws established a system of parish-based relief, where local parishes were responsible for the welfare of their poor residents. This system offered food, shelter, and sometimes work to those unable to support themselves, creating a basic but crucial support network. However, by the late 18th century, the system was beginning to show signs of strain. The Poor Laws were under increasing strain, due to the rapid changes brought about by the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution had led to widespread urbanization and a growing population of urban poor who flocked to cities in search of work. The cost of providing relief was rising, putting a significant financial burden on local parishes. There was growing concern about the effectiveness of the system, with many questioning whether it was sustainable in the long term. Some critics argued that the poor laws discouraged work and encouraged dependency, creating a class of people reliant on public assistance. Malthus's analysis of population growth provided further ammunition for critics of the poor laws. His theory suggested that unchecked population growth would outstrip resources. He argued that by providing relief, the poor laws were exacerbating the problem of overpopulation rather than solving it. According to Malthus, the availability of aid encouraged early marriage and larger families among the poor, leading to a population boom. He believed that this, in turn, led to a vicious cycle of poverty, as more people meant more mouths to feed and more strain on resources. The cycle of poverty was difficult to break, as each generation faced the same challenges and limitations as the one before. Malthus's views on the poor laws were controversial, sparking heated debates among policymakers and social reformers. But they resonated with those concerned about the economic and social consequences of population growth, influencing future social policies and reforms. Pause tous. While Malthus is often remembered for his theories on population growth and resource scarcity, his contributions to economic thought were far-reaching. One of his lesser-known but significant ideas was the theory of demand-supply mismatches, which he termed gluts. Pause tous. According to Malthus, a glut occurs when production outstrips demand, leading to an oversupply of goods and a subsequent economic downturn. This was a radical departure from the prevailing economic theories of his time, which largely ignored the possibility of demand deficiencies. Pause tous. Malthus's theory of gluts was initially discounted by his contemporaries. However, it foreshadowed later work by one of his admirers, John Maynard Keynes. Keynes, a towering figure in 20th century economics, expanded on Malthus's ideas to develop his own theories of aggregate demand and economic cycles. Pause tous. Keynes argued that insufficient demand could lead to prolonged periods of economic stagnation, a concept that became a cornerstone of modern macroeconomic policy. By advocating for government intervention to manage demand, Keynesian economics aimed to prevent the kind of gluts that Malthus had described. Pause tous. Thus, while Malthus's ideas on population and resources have often overshadowed his economic theories, his insights into gluts laid the groundwork for future economic thought. They remind us that even ideas initially dismissed can have a lasting impact on how we understand and shape our world. Pause tous. In retrospect, Malthus's contributions to economics were as significant as his demographic theories, but continues to inspire debate and reflection, proving that the legacy of a thinker is often more complex and enduring than we might initially assume.